Hey guys, it's Sarah, and before I get started, I do want to acknowledge the fact that I am laying down on my couch. I'm wearing pajama pants. I have no makeup on. I look like I have no neck. There's a lot of things happening here, a lot of things to unpack, but basically I'm just here to say that if I wasn't laying on my couch in my pajamas, there would be no video. So it's like, do we want a video from Sarah or do we want her to look nice? Because we can't have both at this point in my life. Also, I apologize for not posting a video again for like months. I gave you guys one in August that I filmed in like July, and then I just was like, what if I pretended I didn't have a YouTube channel? I don't know, my life's falling apart. I actually said in that last video that part of the reason I hadn't been posting this year is because I had to get a new job. Right after I posted that video, I had to get another new job. So I've had 3 jobs this year. It's not great. It's not great. It's very hard to find jobs in corporate America. So you might be able to see by the title of this video, but this is a read-along announcement for the Diviners. Not only is this video going to be a read-along announcement, but it's also going to be a 1920s inspired book tag that Emma and Monica and I created. But before I get into the tag, let me explain what this whole Diviners read-along is. Basically, we are hosting a read-along for the Diviners series by Libba Bray because number one, that series is slept on by everyone. I know a lot of you own the first book because it's very attractive, but then for some reason no one's read it. Very sad. I just feel like this series needs a lot more recognition. And secondly, the 4th and final book is coming out in February. So we thought this would be a great time to go through all of the books and have some live shows and get more people reading it and honor our queen Libba Bray and just have a good old time. So we are titling this read along the Diviners Club. And so the hashtag we're using is hashtag Diviners Club. We're going to be reading the Diviners from October 26th to November 31st. We're giving you guys a little extra time for the Diviners because she's a thick girl, and also we felt like it kind of fits in with the Halloween vibe. And then we're reading Lair of Dreams in December, and then Before the Devil Breaks You in January, and then The King of Crows in February when it comes out. So the live show information is that it's going to be on the 2nd Thursday of every month. So our first one will be on December 12th, then January 9th, February 13th, and then March 12th. And then the times will be announced later on Twitter. Again, the hashtag that we're using is Diviners Club. So if you purchase the books or want to update us on your reading, that's the hashtag that you can use. I really look like I have no neck right now. I promise I have a neck. Another exciting thing about this read along is that NOVL is aware that we're doing it, and they were really kind and they generously donated 3 copies of the series to me, Emma, and Monica. And so you can enter a giveaway that we're going to be doing this month to win the first 3 books in the series. So if you don't own it now, maybe you can win the giveaway because that's how giveaways work. And then we're going to be using a rafflecopter link that you can find in the description. And so all you have to do is subscribe to Emma, subscribe to Monica, and subscribe to me. And then to gain extra entries, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all those fun places and tweet about the read along. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the read along. Now let's get into the tag that we made. We made a tag based on the Roaring 20s to kind of celebrate the whole Diviners theme. It's not really particular to the Diviners, so if you want to do this tag, it doesn't really have anything to do with it. It's just based off of different slang from the 1920s. The first question is Roaring 20s, a 2020 release you can't wait for. And I obviously had to kind of be on the nose with this answer, but I'm going to go with The King of Crows by Libba Bray. Like I said, that comes out in February. I don't know the exact date, but this is the 4th and final installment in the Diviner series. It's been a long time coming for this series to end. Libba Bray took her sweet time, but we're grateful. We're ready. Our bodies are ready. We're here for it. We're in it. The next question is That's the Berries, which basically just means like that's cool, that's the it thing. This is a new release that you loved, and for me that was Slayer by Kirsten White. It came out in January of this year. So what I've noticed about this book is that fans either love it or they hate it, and I like it. It works for me. I can see why some people might think it's lame or not well done, but it just worked for me. It kind of just feels like sanctioned fan fiction. Like, it's everything I'd want in a Buffy fanfiction, so I'm into it. I never read the comics after the 7th series, so sometimes it references things that I just like don't know what they're talking about. Number 3 is Now You're on the Trolley, which basically means now you're right. And for this, we have a series that took a book or 2 to get good. And for that, I have the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning. I recently finished the series. It's a 5-book adult urban fantasy series that deals with fae. And I'm gonna admit, the first book, not great, not ideal. So I just binged the last 4 books in the series because I had read the first book a while ago, and I had a great time. I will give a trigger warning for sexual assault. That is kind of a prevalent theme. It's like one of those book series that's a little problematic with some of the stuff in it because the hate to love is really intense sometimes, but kind of the trash that I'm looking for in my life. So the 4th question is Blue Nose, which basically means killjoy, a book that puts you in a reading slump. So I took a look at my Goodreads and I tried to find like a gap in my reading this year to see what book kind of like put me off reading for a while. And that was God Save the Queen by Kate Locke. Basically, it is an urban fantasy series that is not as successful as the Fever series, in my opinion. It's kind of like an alternate reality where the Queen of England is a vampire, and it's kind of got like a steampunk vibe. I could see it being successful as like a sci-fi TV show or something, but as a book, it was pretty lame and it was very info dumpy. I wasn't into it and it basically put me off reading for a month or 2, and then that's when I got really into podcasts. Number 5 is Hotsy Totsy, which means attractive, and for that we have a book with a beautiful cover. Again, I need to be a little on the nose with this answer and say The Diviners by Libba Bray, and specifically, I mean the original cover. I'm looking around because I thought I had the book laying next to me, but clearly, if I only have energy to lay down while doing this tag, I'm not going to get up and go get the cover, so it'll probably just be here on the screen as I'm talking. Number 6 is Let's Blouse, which basically means let's get out of here, and for that we have a book you DNF'd. And to be honest, I haven't DNF'd anything recently. I actually checked my Goodreads to see the last time I DNF'd something, and I think it was last year. I read The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. I've kind of gotten into middle grade in the last year and a half, and so a lot of people had said Chris Colfer's series was really good. And so I tried to read it, and it's about these kids that find like a magic portal into like a fairy tale land where like Cinderella and fairy tales and that sort of thing are real. And I just couldn't get behind the writing style. It's written really young, and I don't mean that offensively because obviously it is middle grade, so it's written for younger kids, and I can see adults liking it too, but just for the writing styles that I enjoy, it just really wasn't my cup of tea. And I was really sad because I like Chris Colfer, and obviously I like all the viewers that suggested it to me, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I wasn't into it, and that's the tea on that. Our last question is Zoozled, which basically means drunk. For that, we have a book that caused an epic book hangover. Of course, I had to go with my girl, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That book brought out so many emotions for me. Like emotionally, I had a hangover. The minute I finished the audiobook, I just went, let us just go back to the beginning, and I listened to the whole thing 2 times in a row. Basically, it's a book that follows this band in the 1960s, and it kind of follows their like rise and fall. There's a lot more that goes into it. This is also a very divisive book. People either love it or hate it. I'm in the love it camp. Had a really good time. Highly suggest the audiobook. It has a full cast. It's just great. I really, really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tag. I didn't do a great job explaining all the books, but that's fine. Everything is fine. I will be linking Emma and Monica's videos down below in case you want to see their explanations of the read-alongs. I promise they're more succinct and just more eloquent. Also, if you want to see their answers to the tag, their videos would be a great place to start. Also, you do not have to have read The Diviners to do this tag. Obviously, it's just based off of 1920 slang. The tag questions will also be listed below in case you want to do it, and I tag you. Whoever you are watching this, I tag you to do this if you've got a blog, an Instagram, a booktube, whatever you have. Thank you all so much for watching. You're all beautiful. Have a nice day. I almost forgot my own outro.
Your location, let's focus on communicating, cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's